Okay, so we're gonna draw a vase and like we'll do a sphere. So for a vase, you can break it down into shapes. I'm gonna do the top part like this. So you can do it in simple shapes. I'm gonna do this rectangle, not rectangle, like long rectangle. I'm gonna put this shape coming out. This is the horizon line where the table is, so it's gonna sit a little bit lower. Like that, so you can see how I kind of combine my shapes, okay? Down here, a little big. And then you can erase inside. There's one base, and then I want something in front of it. So let's do a sphere. So I dot it first. And then I'm going to combine. Something like that. Okay, so I'm going to have my light coming from up here, which means this side is where the light is, and this comes in front, so I'm going to erase inside it if the sphere comes in front. So that means my shadows are going to come out this way. Okay, so we're going to do just black and white. So what I like to do is start with dark. And you want to make sure you have water and a paper towel. Okay, so I got my water. So if we're starting with dark and the light's coming from this side, we need to start from this side. Okay, so the goal is to do values. So let's do the value scale first. A value scale would be black. Why don't you guys do at least 6 values, okay? And then how do I make the white? I just take a tiny bit here, okay, from the side, and I make a separate puddle. Okay, so that's a good black. I can even make it a little darker. The second one, so it's just a slight. And then I'm just going to take more black and add that, or sorry, white. And it should be very gradual. And I'm going to take more and add to that puddle. See how I'm kind of moving it along? A little more. And for the last part, you might want to wash off your brush so you have no black. Add a little bit more. And this is like your lightest gray. Okay, so there's my value scale. So let's wash out our brush again because we're going to start with black. So you can mix on here or you can mix on your plate. I tend to mix on there. So let's do black first. You can have your brush a little damp, but not super wet. And I'm going to put my black down here, and I'm going to be really careful with my edge because I don't really want to go back and fix that. So see how I put my black. And I'm really careful right there with my edge. I'm going to add, because I have black still on my brush, I lay my pinky is on there to help balance me. the black. We'll bring that black here to clean up that edge. Okay, so we got some black down. So now let's add a little white. So we have black, and let's add a tiny bit of white, but I don't go into the whole thing, right? I'm just taking from the side. Now I'm mixing up more of a gray, and now I'm adding that gray. Now if you want to blend it, you can go lightly over that black and it should blend. And now I'm going to add more. You can get a little water on your brush. I'm going to add a little bit more. And you kind of got to work quickly with this. And I'm going to try and blend it by going softly over. So you don't want to jump right there, you want to mix it. So you kind of want that a little bit. So another option, you can just put white on here in the lightest part. And I'm not washing out my brush, so it's got that gray on there. And I can start to just blend it on there. So we're trying to get all these values. You might want a smaller brush. So like I have this brush is smaller. So I'm going to just keep adding that light. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, if you want it to start getting way brighter and it keeps mixing with the black, then you got to let it dry a little. So I'm going to add on a thick white here for a highlight. So sometimes the white highlight doesn't need to be as blended because it's like a highlight. So see how that's kind of, it creates contrast. Doesn't look too bad. We can put a little highlight in here, maybe blend it out. I'm going to use my fingers a tiny bit. And that's pretty good, actually. Maybe I'll go in with some darker black right here. So now you can go in with your super dark for some low lights. You don't want to have it so the black's not blended. So then I'm going to go in with my black and add the shadow. So shadows are super dark right underneath. So we can add a little shadow here. But then they blend out. So I'm going to take some of this black off my brush and make a little bit more of a dark gray. And I'm going to blend that out. So I'm blending this out on the paper. Yeah, that fades. I'm trying to think here. So how can I make this have more contrast? Let's paint the back too. So we can do maybe we want high contrast against a black. So I don't want a black background there, but you could do a dark gray. So I just want to use up the rest of my paint, so I don't. So I'm going to make a dark gray, and I'm mixing on the sides. Notice how I have, the whole plate's clean, I'm just using a little area. So I'm going to paint this part gray. So this would be a good time to practice mixing on your paper and getting your edges, okay? So see, my edges are really clean. And then I'm gonna blend this out. You don't have to go over that value scale if it's in the way. So I just want to add a little bit more up here and use all my paint. Now, let's see. I'm going to do it on this side. Okay, why don't we try and make this maybe get lighter on the outside? So I'm adding just white, and then you can blend it in. Here I blend it on the paper. So right here I'm pressing lighter. Here I'm just putting it down. So I'm making it lighter on this side because that's where the light is coming from. And I want to blend it pretty good. This looks pretty good. I'm going to go back in again with white. I'm going to add some bright highlights. So it's a little thicker. And there you have it.